What's up, guys? Artillery here. Today we're doing another video. Today we're taking a look at the guidesman survival kit. Let's get all this. Let's get all these guys out. There we go. So, let's begin. Now, if you didn't see in my military surplus haul 2023, I actually pretty much went, I think, into detail about this, but you could definitely know I'm going to be doing the same deal again, which it's totally fine. So, I'm going to basically get every single one of these pieces first. So, our first up was the carabiners. These are basically pretty simple of all things. So you could definitely know. It's one of those that's, you can lock them and they won't basically get off, or actually open them pretty easily. So our next one is this bottle, or basically a water bottle clip. Yes, that's basically what it's called. Now, this is basically for you to carry around water bottle, of all things. Now, it's for basically people who don't own a canteen, or basically don't have access for the canteen. So that's basically, unfortunately, I don't have a water bottle. Well, as I say water bottle, I mean actually using for tests of all things. So I'll be right back. Okay, now I'm back. So you can see from here, let's just go see what will happen with the bottle itself. And okay, that does fit. Yep, there we go. Yeah, I know that's not really right to carry that around, but you could probably know it can carry something like this, or basically a normal water bottle. But you could probably know that's definitely pretty good about it. I don't want to get over here. I'm trying not to break the thing. So let's get to our next piece. Our next one is the emergency blanket, which, now if you don't have something like the Soviet blanket, the fleece blanket, or the poncho liner, this is probably the best you could probably use. It is a lot better than having nothing. I could probably know. It can actually be used as a blanket, shelter, signal for, reflecting light and radar, which is basically right here. And this is the 130 by 210 centimeters. Basically, pretty much being reflective and all, which that actually is one of them being the most important piece for our survival kit of all things, or survival purposes, is either a parachute or a mirror, which that's, I always pick knife as the first because it is a pretty useful piece, but I'm a little kind of surprised by that one. So let's get to our next piece. Our next piece is this whistle, which, now I'm not going to try this out, which you can probably see that, but it definitely is a whistle. It's just, I like to basically just open this on and see. Okay, it's just a piece of plastic goes in there. So that's kind of interesting. It also has a key ring, so you can put it on your car keys. That kind of stuff. So let's get to our next piece. Our next one is the cable saw, which I did try this one out and actually cut down a pretty small tree. It was pretty decent about it. It was very useful. And that's basically what it is. So let's go to our next piece, which is the fishing kit, which we got basically fishing lure, fishing string, fishing hook, and of course bait for the fish. So that makes perfect sense. And that's basically another important piece for for a lot of this. So let's get to our next piece, which is this right here. Basically the blow fire tube. Now, on first glance, when I saw this, I thought this was like a straw, like a metal straw, which I do have those, which is pretty funny to see that. But yeah, that's basically a blower for the fire tube. And you could definitely know for our next piece, which is the fire tinder. So if you basically didn't feather it just yet, so it basically, first thing you do is basically feather the stick. Use something like this, which that's basically our next piece that was also in there. Let's see. Oh, it's right there. Yep, it's right there. Yeah, I know, that sounds pretty dangerous to do that, which, my bad. So you can see those. So these are basically for your fire kit. So let's get to our next piece. So our next piece is this flashlight. You can definitely know this. It's does require a AA battery. So I could see this one's probably is another one of these LED flashlights, which kind of similar to this right here, a Nebo flashlight. And yes, this piece I actually got at work. Yes, I actually got this piece at work. It's like worth like $30, which is pretty cool to get that. Let's go see how dark this is and how it's effective in the dark. Okay, now let's go see what we have here. And oh, I didn't see that one coming. Oh, what's this here? Hey, I didn't know that was actually in the. I didn't know that was actually part of the kit. Maybe I'll try this out and see what will happen. Oh, well. Now let's get to our next piece itself. So our next piece is this paracord, and yes, this actually has multiple functions. You got is the compass, the whistle, the flint for your fire, and yes, you can actually do that. Oh, it might be this one. Nope, I think you can do this. But yes, there's also the scraper too. They say for flint stones. I'm trying to find which area to do that stuff, which I know it could work, but yep, it's all right. Yeah. Let's see, right here. And that's basically, so I'm actually on, yeah, basically of northeast. That's where I'm at. So let's get to our next piece, which is basically the tactical pen. Yes, I have multiple of these guys, but it just makes it even more funnier. Okay, you got I got the pen, which that's another thing. You got the self-defense piece, and yes, this is basically one of those pieces that when you actually hit someone with it, you can actually get their DNA. Just like for one of the, and of course a glass breaker tip, that you could probably glass break things. And of course our next piece, which is this here. Yeah, kind of different between basically my Ozark Trail, basically utensil knife of all things. So you got actually another thing about this. And I'm actually going to pull this out just for... So first of all, you got the spoon. Of course it does. You also have is the bottle opener. This you have is the wrench for basically for hexagon shapes. And this one is a can opener. This one right here, a can opener. And of course you got the fork area. And oh yeah, and on 6, and yes, this was on there, is supposedly be a harpoon of all things. I guess it's meant to be this way. This one's meant to be the harpoon. But yeah, I think that might be so. And of course this piece is the hanging hole. So that's basically another piece you got here. And of course our next piece, which is the multi-purpose pocket survival tool. Also comes with a little piece of paper here. Okay, you got the can opener right there. And yes, it is really sharp, made of stainless steel. Basically have guidesman right there. Got the knife edge. Yeah, that's really sharp, of all things. You got the screwdriver, flathead. Got the ruler. Of course, you got the cap opener. Yep, the cap opener. And it got the 4-position wrench right here. Yeah, just a little... This one's a butterfly wrench. This one right here. Let's see, you got... of course, you got the saw blade here. This one's... something you have is the direction ancillary indication right here. I know there's a purpose on that. I think there is. Of course, this one's right here. This one's the 2-position wrench for hexagon shape. And, of course, the lanyard hole. And, of course, the piece of resistance, and I know what many people definitely know for this video, is, of course, the folding knife itself. Oh, I say folding knife. So, the sheath itself is made of basically made of nylon or lanyard, having a Velcro on this, and of course a belt loop for that. And this is how you open this knife, with the little peg right there, and of course, yep, it's a spring assist of all things. It makes it even more funnier. And you could definitely know the details on this one. This has kind of have scales on this. Had like 4 square shape on this hole there. And of course there is like 6. Yes, I repeat, 6. 6 squared caved in. Definitely have like on the scales itself. Of course, you have the belt cutter, glass breaker tip, which it looks like one of those filaments, you know, kind of those 3D printer filaments nozzles, which is so weird. And this is how you close this guy. This one has the clip on there. The star-shaped on the blade basically for screws. You could take these off, but unfortunately there's no left hand. Of course, you got basically stars, basically a 6-point star screws on there, so you can take this, basically to disassemble this piece apart. Of course, this is basically this one says guidesman. A serrated edge on this, having 4 big ones and 9 small ones. And 6 is basically curved in there. So, I think this is a stainless steel knife, which I can probably think that might be what it is. So, the size of the knife itself is around about of 3 inches. Meanwhile, for the handle, and while it's closed, it'd be around about of basically of 4 3/4, and the overall size is around about of 8 inches right here. So let's test this bad boy out. Also, by the way, about this, it actually is kind of the opposite of a survival knife. Yes, this thing. I recently got this, where it's basically had like the hollow handles, which is basically have the little survival kit tools in there too. You know, kind of bit of that, you know, basically of, oh yeah, there's basically are of a survival kit, not basically for giant survival knives of all things. So yeah, just want to point that out, and want to show you about this guy's existence. So yes, let's test this bad boy out. So the results out there for the spring assist knife is pretty good. Look at that. Yeah, it's basically due to the serrated edge of all things. You could probably see the ragged edges on that, and this one too. That's really crazy. Like, one clean cut about it. Now for the card knife, or this little survival card, it actually did well too. I mean, that one's like cutting holes and all, which that's pretty good. That's really well done. So I gotta say, these are basically pretty decent of all things. So I give the guidesman survival kit, or like I said, survival kit, an astounding of, let's see, of an 8 out of 10. I mean, it does got you what you needed. And it's and it was like maybe 20 bucks of all things, so that's really not a bad deal. So that wraps up the guidesman survival kit. I'm Martelboy, and I'm signing out. I'll see you guys next time.